Time to destroy a moronic article.
Hi, Eddie Murray, former Detroit Lion. Make sure you watch MicroMike on YouTube.
What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Mr. MicroMike, and I am here to drop a video about an article that I read, and I thought initially this article was simply clickbait. However, it is not. It was a real opinion piece, and I have to destroy it, man. So I'm gonna jump right into this bad boy. So I was clicking around and seen an article on a website that I do like sometimes. However, sometimes they just come up with ideas in articles that just make no sense. This is definitely one of them. So the article that I read is called "The Detroit Lions Should Trade for Chargers Melvin Gordan on Pride of Detroit." I initially thought this was simply a joke or a parody. However, it is not. So here is what they are suggesting. They want to trade Kerryon Johnson for Melvin Gordan, and we give up a 7th round pick with that. Think about this, folks. Think about this. We're going to trade Kerryon Johnson, 7th round pick, for Melvin Gordan of Chargers. The situation is Melvin Gordan in San Diego is potentially doing a holdout, and he wants to go ahead and get a new contract. He wants to make the big money. So this article is giving statistics and stats of why we should trade for Melvin Gordan and get rid of Kerryon Johnson. Folks, I'm going to read part of this article and I'm going to destroy it. Single-handedly destroy it, because to me this is absolutely, I wouldn't even say fake news. I would just say dumb, moronic, kill your brain cell news. That's basically what it is. So here we go. We're gonna jump right into this article, and it says that our friends over the Bolts in Blue targeted the Lions as a potential trade partner, sending Gordan to the Detroit Lions in exchange for Rick Wagner and a 6th round pick. He says while this would represent an upgrade for the Lions at the running back position, the cost does not seem quite right. Instead of weakening the offensive line and adding yet another body in the backfield, the following trade they believe should make happen. So the Lions receive Melvin Gordan, and we give up Kerryon Johnson and a 7th round pick, and we secure a long-term deal for Melvin Gordan. This is so dumb. This is probably controversial, he says, but big trades are. Johnson is an impressive rookie, and he won the hearts of many fans. He's a very affordable rookie deal, and clearly someone the organization values. But this trade is not a criticism of Kerryon Johnson's ability, rather it speaks to the strength of Melvin Gordan. So this is his idea, and I'm going to break down his facts, and I'm going to just simply destroy it. So Melvin Gordan was drafted 15th overall in 2015, okay? In 2015. Since entering the league, he is the 6th rushing and 7th in touchdowns among running backs. He is great between the tackles, and he has real weapons receive. Whether though the numbers are the eye test, Gordan is a top 10 back in today's NFL. Johnson could someday reach this level. He could someday reach it, folks. But there are some still question marks to answer. He looked solid at times during his rookie season and is definitely an improvement over the last running backs. However, he has rushed the ball 118 times, which is not nearly enough to make guarantees, and he did fine as a receiver, but he's clear that he's not strong suited for that. He only ran the ball 118 times. Have you watched the film? Did you see that KFC would pull Kerryon Johnson when he would get hot and simply ruin the game for him? He was not utilized enough. That was not Kerryon Johnson's fault. That was KFC's fault. He was killing games. They would put LeGarrette Blount in over Kerryon Johnson for whatever reason, and Theo Riddick. So him, by not having enough times running, is not Kerryon Johnson's fault at all. So by saying that he only ran the ball 118 times, and that's not enough, so what are you trying to say here? Because KFC did not utilize him enough, that means it's bad on Kerryon Johnson. That is one of the most moronic statements and unfactual, stupid things I think I've read in a long, long time. This is near Carlos Manure level, but let's carry on. There's a lot of hype around the second year in Detroit, for good reason, but there's still no evidence that he's a better player than Gordan. Johnson may go to have a successful career. It is very hard to imagine him having the type of results that Gordan produced during his rookie. Kerryon Johnson, now, with not being utilized enough, had 118 attempts, 641 yards, 3 touchdowns, and averaged 5.4 yards a carry. That was this last rookie season. Now let's jump to Melvin Gordan. 175 attempts, so nearly 50 more. He only averaged 885 yards. He had nearly 50 attempts and more, and he only gained 300 more yards. That's ridiculously dumb. He averaged 5.1 yards per carry. So Kerryon Johnson is averaging 5.4. He's averaging 5.1. Kerryon Johnson is on a team that did not run the ball much, and they decide to utilize LeGarrette Blount, and for whatever reason, Theo Riddick more. Ridiculous. Let's keep going. Given Gordan's impressive 4 seasons, it's not surprising that he's looking for a big-time payday. A $2.6 million average so far is below market value, and he's looking for a big increase. For the Lions to make the trade, it has to be a 4-year deal, $10 to $12 million average. This makes him the 4th highest paying running back, according to the current numbers. So, you're wanting to add the cap to what we got now, Melvin Gordan, for $10 to $12 million a year to our team to make the franchise better and get rid of a super cheap rookie contract on Kerryon Johnson, and you think this is going to help the Lions. How? This is something that Martin Mayhew and or Matt Millen would do. It makes no sense. It's basically you're getting rid of Kerryon Johnson, that you could have 10 Kerryon Johnsons for 1 Melvin Gordan. That's how much cheap rookie contract for Kerryon is right now. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely stunningly ridiculous. Literally, you could add so many more players to the roster. With Kerryon Johnson, right now we're the 9th best cap space in the NFL. But we're going to go ahead and get rid of that for 1 player who will basically make it so we can't add any more players to the Lions. That it doesn't make any sense. It literally makes no fiscal sense in that field at all. Kerryon Johnson is making $1.6 million per year. Rookie deal. Again, you could probably get 10 Kerryons for one Gordan. Woo! But it's become the question of value of runners like Gordan. He did not come around every once in a while. You expecting Johnson to reach the level of Gordan is a gamble. Can I say that Kerryon Johnson's surpassed Melvin Gordan right now? He averages more yards per carry. He can be used in every part of the offense, whether it be passing game, whether it be simply running, whether it be blocking. So, you're telling me that he's potentially not reaching the status of Melvin Gordan? In my opinion, he's already past it. Kerryon Johnson is better running back, in my opinion. Kerryon Johnson is 22 years old. He's 22 years old, okay? He's a rookie last year. Melvin Gordan is... Melvin Gordan's 26 years old, okay? He's 26 years old over a 22-year-old. The shelf life of a running back usually is about to win the age of 30. So we're going to give up somebody on our team who we could have for 8 years make a massive, massive impact for a guy that will be on the Lions roster during the end of his career, potentially only 4 years left. That makes no sense at all. At all. The inclusion of a 7th round pick in the trade would be more or less a throwaway. This shows just how close Gordan is to Johnson's value. Gordan is valued far more than Kerryon Johnson. While one has much more favorable contract, the other one is a better player on the field. No, he's not a better player on the field. That's ridiculous. That's a 7th round pick throwaway. 7th round pick. Are you not seeing what Bob Quinn is doing? He drafts our team. Every draft pick counts. Every single one counts. You make a team in depth by draft picks, not throwing away draft picks and adding old veterans. Why would we throw away a 7th round pick? Kerryon Johnson for Melvin Gordan. Literally, my IQ has went down 5 points so far reading this article, but since I love my subscribers so much, I'm going to make my brain even less smarter and continue to read this. For the Lions to truly compete in the playoffs, they need to find every way to bolster the roster, and doing this would completely bolster the roster. Adding a player who's going to cost $10 to $12 million a year to our roster does not bolster the roster. It makes it much weaker with less ability for us in the future to make deals and potentially have money to use if there's an injury risk to players. We need to fiscally have a good cap space. That is vital towards the success of any franchise. If you are cap strapped, it does not bolster your roster at all. It's the complete opposite of bolstering your roster. It's complete destroying your roster. Getting rid of a rookie like Kerryon Johnson does not booster your roster. It destroys your roster. And getting rid of a draft pick doesn't help as well. Just moronic. Gordan fits perfectly with Darrell Bevell's offense. When the Lions brought in Darrell Bevell as the new offense coordinator, all eyes immediately turned to the run game. Bevell has a history of heavily leaning on the ground attack, and the indications are that Detroit is ready to continue this pattern. With the improvements along the line and the tight end position, the pieces are in place for a heavy run game. Yes, they are in place for a heavy run game. That's why we have Kerryon Johnson. That's why we have C.J. Anderson. That's why we have Zach Zenner. We have the ability to do this heavy run attack. And if you actually paid attention to film, they don't just run the ball. Darrell Bevell is very balanced in offense. What you're saying, you have not looked at anything but feelings. There is no facts. There is zero facts in this article. This is literally one of the worst articles that I've read in a long time. The two main backs Bevell has featured is Adrian Peterson and Marshawn Lynch. While neither Gordan nor Johnson are quite to this level, one of them looks closer more to the part. Based on history, Bevell is not a fan of the running back by committee approach, and he's more than willing to leave his bell cow there for all 3 downs. His history that Darrell Bevell does not use running back by committee because he had Adrian Peterson and Marshawn Lynch. He had Adrian Peterson and Marshawn Lynch. Duh! You hand them the ball more. Duh! Let's see. Let's put Adrian Peterson in his prime. Are we going to hand him the ball or somebody else? Oh, Marshawn Lynch in his prime. Are we going to hand him the ball or someone else? They were spectacular backs. and you believe Gordan is close to them and not kerryon. Let me read more. Does this sound like Johnson? Based on his sophomore history, skill set, and preferences, it does not seem like it. Meanwhile, Gordan is a complete running back and built to the focal point of the offense. The Lions want to feature one running back in the league. They have to do an RB1 leading the way with Gordan. Literally. Now I literally just dropped 10 points of IQ. This is so dumb. This trade could be a gamble and would tenure for general manager Bob Quinn. Early returns show kerryon Johnson an excellent draft pick and someone whose future could be built, but the current offense and the run game specifically are not quite level of other top competitors in the league. To accomplish goals like this in winning the division of the playoffs, Detroit needs a stud like Melvin Gordan. He's exactly the kind of player that we've been missing on this team for many years. Trades are risky, but could get something quality for a top quality going open the door. This opportunity would lead the Lions. They cannot afford to miss. Yes, they can afford to miss. This would be the stupidest trade of all trades. This trade would literally make me want to lick windows of stupidity. This trade would make me want to eat crayons if this happened. If Bob Quinn made this trade, for sure he would be out the door. The fan base would turn up on him like no other. It makes no sense. Kerryon Johnson is going to be a really good back in this league. He's going to be in my opinion, he's going to make 1,000 yards this year. That already beats up Melvin Gordan's statistics alone. He was underutilized last year when it comes to Darrell Bevel. He will be utilized properly. He will be used on offense in a way that are going to make this offense so balanced and so bright that we are going to win games. We will win games not just in September, October, but November and December. We will win the NFC North. If this trade occurred, I would be very upset with Bob Quinn. I would be very upset with Matt Patricia. You cannot get rid of Kerryon Johnson. You don't get rid of a 22-year-old back for a 26-year-old back who wants a contract extension and to make the big bucks. That makes no sense. Kerryon Johnson's ceiling is far higher than Melvin Gordan. He averages 5.4 yards a carry over Melvin Gordan's 5.1. Folks, do your research, just like my buddy Luke G says. That is, in this article is really stupid, and it says vote. Do you want to see this trade happen? 27% people said yes, with a whopping 73% of people saying no. Thank you. We have a lot of love in Detroit, a lot of individuals that understand that this trade is moronic, and this article literally is very dumb. Again, when it comes to Pride of Detroit, I've said this many times, it's one of the better websites when it comes to Detroit sports, but every once in a while, they drop a ridiculously dumb article that just makes no sense. This is one of them, folks. So go ahead and check this article out if you'd like to. I appreciate you guys listening to me rant. I had to, folks. I had to. This made no sense in my opinion. If you have not subscribed to me, make sure you do so. I am #ACoolGuy, as well as the rest of Detroit Sports Alliance, folks. We're getting close to training camp. I can't wait to talk news. With that, folks, adios.